Alright, it is time for our Sunday special. What we have for you tonight is an interview with KrafDinner. So, Kraft, why don't you tell all of our listeners a little bit about yourself and why your opinion should matter?
Hey, well, I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little tired, but, I've been playing, I started Two Moons over a year ago, playing it, pretty regularly, but I'm not really, I never had a high-level character because I wasn't much of a grinder, and Two Moons is definitely very grind-oriented, especially at the higher levels. It was March sometime that I started as a VGM, and then a few months down the road, I was promoted to server leader because of a vacancy from someone leaving, and so I got moved up.
As a VGM server lead, what were some of your responsibilities?
I had to try to keep an eye on everyone, make sure everybody on my team did, follow the VGM rules as they were supposed to. So naturally, as the server leader, I was expected to follow the normal VGM rules, as well as try to enforce the VGM rules, as best that I could on the team.
Well, to me, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Well, I do have a question that I'm sure a lot of people who are reading the forums on Two Moons a lot probably wanted to ask you. Now, in your name KrafDinner, what happened with the T?
There never has been and never will be a T. The T actually got pushed out because of a game that I used to play. The maximum length a name could be was 15 characters, and I used KrafDinner with the T for about a month, and then I was invited into a guild, and on that game you could just stick the guild tag on the end of your name. Well, their guild tag was 5 characters, so I had to lose a letter somewhere, and the T was the only one that I deemed unnecessary.
So that's where the T went. Well, I just kind of wondered where it was. But anyways, there is Siege tonight. Now, there's participants are going to be Die and Die's sub-guild. Who do you got your bets on for the win tonight?
That's a tough one, and after much deliberation, I think I'm going to have to go with Die on this one.
I don't know, but that seems like a risky bet to me. So, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know, but if you try that experiment in public, you're either going to get put in jail or just looked at funny and called a pervert. I can pretty well guarantee you that.
I get looked at funny anywhere I go anyways. What kind of cell phone do you got?
I'm rocking it semi-old school. I still have a Motorola KrafDinner.
The KrafDinner. I know you picked that phone just because it's a ninja phone.
I picked the KrafDinner because my old one broke, and I could get it for like $35.
What, you mean the built-in ninja tones had no influence on your decision at all?
No, but that is convenient.
Okay, enough messing around. I guess it's time we should actually get this interview started. The topic we're going to be talking about today is private servers and their relationship with Two Moons. What exactly is a private server?
Well, essentially what it is someone generally gets their hands on, the files that are required to run on a server. Like, for example, in this particular case, in the case of Two Moons, someone gets their hands on the Decoron server files and hosts their own little server, and then releases their own custom client that will connect to that server. So then anybody that runs their client can connect to their server and play on their server, but as they are the sole distributors of that particular client, it is private to whoever they distribute to, thus private server.
Are these private servers just as stable as a official Two Moons server?
Generally, they're not as stable as an official server will be, because 90% of the time it's the case that someone has either gotten a leaked version of a client or somehow managed to get a hold of a client that either wasn't a final build or needs some work or something like that. So generally, no, they're not as stable as an official server.
Interesting. Now, are private servers actually legal? I don't know what the exact answer is. People have been saying a lot of different things.
As far as I know, technically, it's not illegal, but there are things that, for example, a claim can do, depending on, how the server is run, where it's hosted, and so forth. The companies that are the licensors of Decaron can technically bring down the private servers if they choose to do so.
Well, legalities aside, why is it, do you think, that a lot of people are moving on to these private servers instead of sticking with the official 2 Moon servers?
Well, there are several reasons. One of the big reasons that a lot of people flock to private servers is because of the major experience advantage. Because for most of them, it's, say somebody opens up a private server, they will set it so that the experience you gain is 1,000 times normal or something of the sort. So there's a huge leveling, is insanely fast, and generally they boost drop rates, so gear is not at all hard to come by. It's not hard to make, and it's a lot. Generally, it's a lot friendlier environment than the official servers, because on a private server, it's generally everybody of a particular, say, community that has already moved from the official to a private server.
Alright, well, I have talked to other people who have played on private servers. One of the things they complained to me about was that the players on the private servers did not really know how to do some of the basic things that a normal 2 Moons player should know how to do, like a crevice run or a dead front, or even how to successfully solo a Crespo run, even at 130 plus or higher levels. Is that true?
Well, a lot of the times it is, because, for example, on one of the more popular private servers that I won't bother naming, you can go from level 1 to 140 in a day or two, no problem. So there's no real need for a crevice run or anything like that. You can just blast right through it and go straight to the 130 maps.
I see. Well, other than extremely fast leveling, what is the real benefit or bonus to playing on a private server rather than the original 2 Moons?
Absolutely nothing. That's why private servers won't stay around. Once you get to that level, there's nothing to do aside from just fight other players, and really on the private servers you can only do that for so long. Generally, a private server doesn't have a whole lot of longevity. It's just basically a whole lot of people want to get away from the official server. They jump to the private server, blast up through levels, fight for a month or so, and then they're done with it. I've talked to a lot of people that have gone to private servers. I myself have gone to a private server, and I came back, and a lot of people that I know will go, and for example, they'll go just to test out various builds for a character, to find out how they want to create their character, how they want to do their stat points up through the levels and their skill points and so on. So, if you use it that way, it's really a kind of a handy way to figure out what the best way to make a character is. Then you come back to the official server and build it the way you had it. There are a lot of things that private servers do right that the official servers don't necessarily do, or they don't do it quite the same, but it's also generally the case that the private server doesn't have near the audience to deal with that the official servers do, so they don't have nearly as many troubles. But from a player perspective, if you want to find out how your current build you want to use is going to stand up against other players that are high level, hop over to a private server, check it out, see what it's like, and then whenever you get stomped, you'll know that you need to rework your build.
I guess that could be helpful, so I don't have to waste all my money buying skill resets and playing around in 2 Moons changing that stuff. But